know what was happening.
I had to say anything, and I said,
What
no,
was
I
it?
will not put the pantry in an organized fashion. That is my improv.
That's your story?
I could have said anything.
That's your punchline to a story.
Yeah,
Was that?
That was the punchline. Hey guys, welcome to Alpha Book Club! Yay! Happy Nerdoween! It's almost actually Halloween next week, so we're very excited.
6 days.
6 days.
And then 6 days, 7 nights.
nights.
Harrison Ford.
As you can
Heesh.
see, my favorite people are here: Hector Navarro and
What's
Maude
up?
Garrett.
Hey, guys.
Hi everyone.
What's up?
Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Alpha Book Club.
Welcome.
We're so glad that you're along for the ride, even though this was an intense book. And before we get going, we've got a secret giveaway happening in the chat right
Yes.
now.
Secret
You
giveaway.
get a secret giveaway. You get a secret giveaway. Maybe, I'm not
One
entirely
person
sure.
gets a secret giveaway.
No, every member of chat tonight will receive an ebook
Wait.
version of next month's read, which we're
Shut.
gonna announce right now.
Are you serious? Every member of chat?
Every member of chat.
I
Everyone
thought it was
in
just
the
one
chat.
person.
So it is an Oprah moment.
Every member.
It is a goddamn Oprah moment.
It's
Do
an
it.
Oprah moment.
Say
So
it.
you can literally say, you're going to get one, and
You're going to get one, and you're going to get one, and you're going to get one.
they're in chat.
Wow.
If you're in chat right now, if you're watching this on the VOD, you missed
Be
out.
in chat. What is it? What are they going to win?
They're going to win a copy of our next book, which is Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. That one was a big write-in for this month's book, and the
We all
movie
kind
is
of-
coming out next month.
Yeah,
so
we
we're
all kind
Yeah.
of nominated it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thought about this for a while, and we wanted to time it perfectly.
Yay, everyone's so excited.
Everyone is freaking out right now.
So yeah, this is obviously an Agatha Christie book. This is one of the first whodunits, written in 1934, and then big names attached to the movie as well. I believe it's Dame
Yeah.
Judi Dench. You've also got Daisy
Michelle
Ridley.
Pfeiffer.
Daisy Ridley,
Yeah,
Josh
Josh
Pfeiffer.
Gad.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Oh my God.
And you know what's crazy is the book doesn't have Johnny Depp in it because it's a book. So that's what's cool about it. So,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
And,
Can't wait to read the book.
And yeah, we're going to get into that next month. So just enter your email into the link that Courtney is
Yes.
dropping into the chat
She's
right
dropping
now.
it hot.
Drop it in before the end of the show. We'll
my
collect them
God.
all, and we'll send you your ebook soon, and we'll get
Look
started.
at that.
Yeah, so
There's
we
a
love
link
you
to
guys
sign up for
so
your
much.
copy. That is awesome. DeMarco Draws just peed a little.
It
Everyone
happens
is
to the best of us.
Yeah.
But don't do it when
Out.
you're wearing red pants.
And hopefully, I think the plan is, right, guys, that like if this all goes well, like we want to keep being able to give books away in the future
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
people.
the more-
club.
Oh,
Secret.
hi.
It's a secret, but that way you could like let friends know to like be in the chat so that
Be
you could
in the
get the
chat.
you know
That's a
you
good
could get
point,
the book.
Hector.
Go to books.
Very good point.
So
Oh, people, it looks like people have already read this book. I
Oh.
love this book, says Pinkishly.
can't wait.
Yes,
I've
yes,
never
yes,
read it.
yes, yes. This
I
book is
read
great,
it.
says DeMarco Draws.
I read a lot of Agatha Christie when I was, I think, like 12,
I have not
13.
once.
Neither
Yeah.
have I. What
The
are
Mirror
some other?
Cracked
What are some? The Mirror Cracked
from side to side.
is a book or a line from a book.
That's a book.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah. that
What
was-
else did she
What
write?
kind of mirror?
So she usually has two different protagonists. I don't remember all the other titles, to be quite honest, but there's Hercule Poirot, who's the
Oh,
French.
Hercule, yes. No,
Yes.
that was
Mustache
a
man?
television series
Kenneth
made into
Branagh.
that. A
Yes,
British one?
Poirot.
Yes.
Poirot.
And the other
Poirot?
Poirot.
We'll work on
Poirot.
We'll have to, oh God.
Poirot.
We're going to have a
Poirot.
really fun time with that while we read with our
Poirot.
French accents. And then the other one is Miss Marple, who's kind of like a Murder, She Wrote style
I'm into it.
lady who solves
You know what?
mysteries.
controversial. I really only like Jessica Lansbury. Is that her name?
Angela.
Angela Lansbury.
I was like, that sounds right,
No,
but it's
something's
not.
wrong.
Yeah.
In Bedknobs and Broomsticks, said it.
You don't like her? in
Only thing I do like her in.
Oh, okay. I didn't really watch Murder, She Wrote. What about Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, she was Mrs. Potts in
Mrs.
Beauty and the
Potts.
Beast, the animated
Emma
Beauty and the
Thompson
Beast.
trumped her on that.
No.
Maude.
Maude.
Well, it's okay, Rachel. You don't have to listen to much. She was playing with a fidget spinner earlier. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
I
true.
am
I got
really
one
upset
in-
about that. You missed the whole thing. I said
Yeah.
I'd never touched one, so what did Hector do? Oops, and it landed in my hand.
Yeah, it landed in my. That's ridiculous. What a
Hector,
crazy story.
God, Maude,
It's
I thought
almost
you
too
didn't
crazy
like
to
fidget
believe.
Spinners. No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
She just likes it. She's
I
just
can't
into
do
it.
I
You can't do what?
I can't join your.
You can't?
Thing.
Oh man, they turn
No.
on me so quick, you guys. Man,
Power of estrogen.
that's the power of Gone Girl. Am I right? Gone, girl.
Hey, girl. She gone.
She gone, girl. She gone.
It's our that
This
might
book's
be our
gone?
new catchphrase.
Yeah, dude. Let's get our wrinkle on,
Yeah.
and
so
girl.
let's get
she
our
gone.
wrinkle on, girl. She
And
gone.
follow the man in black as we Come on, guys.
Inconceivable!
Across the desert.
Well, to kick things off tonight, we have a Skype guest. Yay!
Yay!
Please welcome Miranda, aka Moustera.
Yay! Hi, Miranda.
Yay!
Hi, fishes!
So
Hello,
good to
hello.
see
You
you.
guys, we met a lot, almost not quite a year ago, but at South by at South by Southwest last year. It was the greatest, and saw her every day at we were at Bangers in Austin at our activation. We were hanging out and talking about reading. It was really cool. So it's good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you again. Thanks to you, I have a picture of my eyebrows and John Hamm. Because I couldn't take a selfie.
You're so welcome.
Wow, that I never thought you would say, but the fact that you know what she's talking about and it's a real thing, that is a win for everyone.
John Hamm came for Baby Driver, and there was a corgi in line, and he just like went up to go, and the entire like stretch of everyone who was there just melted into a puddle.
That's fair.
Immediately.
That's fair. Yeah.
So, Moustera, how did you like Gone Girl? Have you read it before?
Oh, she gone.
She gone girl.
Okay, we're
Don't
all
fight
with you.
it.
I thought the book was great. As Hector says, it's a very stressful read. Like all the time, you're like, well, why are these people so horrible? Why do I keep reading this? I feel so bad. But the ending was just fantastic. I mean, I love that end line where Amy just says that she wants to have the last word. It's like, I hate you so much.
Yes.
You're the worst, the absolute worst. So I thought it was really great. I just really loved it. I thought it was really great. And I don't know the editions you guys have, but mine comes with like questions and like.
Yes. How good is that? It's book club ready.
Yeah.
I know. But I thought it was really great, the ending. The only thing that I personally wasn't convinced by was the reasoning of Nick for staying with Amy, because he says that
Agreed.
she's gonna hurt the baby because she's pregnant and he wants to have a kid and everything. And it's like, I mean, I get that he has to stay because there's no other reason. But the fact that he says it because he's dreaming about having a baby and having a life, it's like, dude, you missed out a while ago. Like, this that you married, like she's the worst, and you know that you're gonna have a horrible family. Like, what kind of life is that for a baby, anyways? So
I agree 100%, Miranda, and we could talk about this for a little bit, because that was the one thing I think also about the ending, is that it works on paper, kind of, but I think that I would have liked even more of the character of Nick really wanting a kid throughout the book, not just in one moment.
The only
you know
reason
what I mean?
I was thinking that exact thing, especially when Miranda brought it up, but the reason why they couldn't do that is because that was such a huge part in the whodunit.
Yeah,
you know,
not
that was the
revealing
lie. That was
true.
the you know, the exchanging of the truths between the both of those. But I agree. If
But
this
to
is
the
what he
but to
wanted
the detriment
more
of
than anything,
but to the detriment of the ending, because I kind of again don't buy the ending, because Nick became so survival mode.
Yep.
And Amy is so survival mode, and she wants to win, that I believe that she would have a kid and have this fake life for 18 years and raise a child just to win. I believe it because of the way that Amy has been the entire book. But again, the way that Nick has been, where he got to a point where he was like, oh, come back. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to take you down. This whole thing where I was like, I believe that it got so crazy that I kind of didn't believe that the reasoning for Nick to want to stay is to protect a kid because he wanted a kid. I didn't buy it. I would have bought it more.
Even with all of his stuff with his dad?
Yes, because but I wanted them to. I think I wanted Gillian Flynn to lean into that more, maybe, because like I'm saying, it works on paper, but maybe it's just because like you're saying, Maude, it's a big part of the whodunit.
Yep.
And you're supposed to be rooting against Nick up to a certain point, up to the turn, to the detriment of the ending. Because if I were more rooting for Nick from the beginning, then it would be different in how I would be looking at the ending.
I've just figured it out. I know how it could have happened. Do you know how he ducked off to read his old newspapers? How cool would it have been if he actually had bought a little boy's jumpsuit, a little baby?
Yeah.
And he would like secretly look
if
at
they
that,
would have revealed that of
dreaming.
him like fantasizing about children and babies and kids.
Yeah.
Or I want to say this too, and I'll ask you, Miranda, like maybe would this have worked better for you too? I almost would have bought it more if there was no kid, but it was just
He wanted people to he didn't want to be ruined.
Or like how Nick describes at the end, he goes, yeah, I don't think I could be with any other woman. No other woman would murder for me. That fucked up ending, I was like, I would almost believe Nick as a character in this way more than him like, oh, and also because I want to stay because I don't want her to hurt an innocent child. Like, I want my kid.
Maybe that's him also lying to himself because he doesn't want to think that he loves her.
So it was a little like cloudy at the end. But
I agree that keeping up the reputation because of the hysteria that birthed from this tragedy, that she needed to look like, the most beautiful part in the movie is when she's driving home from doing the report in the hospital and she's seeing just how many people are out there to welcome her home. And she's just in awe. Wow, look how many people care about me. Ugh. And I kind of wanted to see that same thing within Nick, where he's like, I'm no longer the villain. I get to be a good guy again. And they both realize that they need each other to keep up this facade.
Agreed. Agreed.
Another thing that I didn't click with me at the end, and again, Miranda, I'd love you to weigh on this one as well. The relationship that he had with Go was almost like his first love is Go. His only real love has been Go. That's the girl that he trusts. That's who he always goes to.
Certainly the woman he loves the most in his whole life.
Ever, yes. And yet he was willing to destroy her and what she wanted for the sake of this child. And that didn't really buy for me because she was like, you are breaking my heart. And he's just like, well,
now
thanks for remortgaging your house and putting the bar up and everything like that so I can get off so I can go back with her.
The movie had her say the line, I don't remember if it was exactly in the book or if it was a little reworked, but in the movie, the actress who plays Go looks up at him and she's like, you want this. It's so fucked up, but you want her. You want to stay in this. And again, Ben Affleck was leaning over the sink, like trying not to admit that, but it was part of it. The book kind of touched on that. So I think the question, Miranda, is like, how else could the ending have worked better for you? What did you think about it?
I think that the ending would have worked better for me if just like Amy terrorizes him to death. Like he can't leave because he knows that he's going to die.
Yeah.
Like just as plain as that. I think that would have worked a little better for me. Like just leaving, like making sure that every reader knows that Amy is just terrible and like she's willing to like murder him if he doesn't do whatever she wants. I think that for me would have been more believable than him staying because there's a baby. Anyways, we also see that he stays because he loves her, because he knows that he's been the best man he's ever been with Amy. And the reason he also stays because of his reputation. I also say like that ship has sailed. You don't have a good reputation. And like even like halfway through your marriage, your reputation was ruined. Like you weren't a good husband anyways. So
but about that though, Miranda, is though at the end of the book with the press tour, I want to say Ben Affleck. Nick is able to come out. It goes so back and forth, but he's able to come out as somebody who people were like, oh, he didn't kill his wife, poor guy, he cheated, he's a cheater, but he didn't kill his wife, Like, and I feel like he kind of did recover from a lot of the negative.
He went on the apology tour.
He went on the apology tour.
He owned the thing that he did instead of trying to hide from it, and I think. Especially, and we can talk more about this, but the whole kind of media circus around wealthy white people and them being able to be like, I'm sorry, I went to I went to rehab for a week and I'm all better.
I'm not broken.
What are you guys referring to?
So many people.
Yes.
I've got another pitch. Real quickly, I got another pitch, and Miranda, this goes up the first solution that you had, which was you want Nick to be tormented almost.
To death. She said to death.
To death. How to so? What if, how they do, it's like three months later, after the return. What if it was like 6 months after the return and there's a missing sign for Go?
Oh, damn.
Oh, that's a great beginning for a sequel.
Wow.
Okay. What have I done?
It would be gone.
So she's still controlling him.
Go. She gone. Go. She gone. Yeah, that would be great. That would be to have Amy, because Go freaks out and she's like, is Amy going to keep me away from this kid and from your family? And Nick was like, no, she's so up in her own shit right now that like she wants everything to be cool and be good. Like she forgives you, or it's fine, or she doesn't care about you. Like Nick was able to say to Go, oh, you're not really even on Amy's radar, kind of a thing. Like she knows she has all the control. Yeah. So that would be another way to further that. Yeah. If she goes missing, it would be too much.
Miranda, did you watch the movie?
Yes, I did last night.
So you watched it after you read it?
First of all, real quick, a lot of people talking about the movie in the chat. Yep. If we can scroll up a little bit, I want to grab this one comment. Well, also, Thrash Odin had a great comment about he believes that the baby was a lie and that Nick just needs that toxic relationship, which I agree with. But keep scrolling up. Pinkishly If you go up a little bit more, Pinkishly says, I watched it for the first time this week. I read the book a few years ago, but didn't watch the movie because I didn't think I'd like the Ben Affleck casting. Scroll down. Pinkishly follows up with, they're both narcissists.
Yeah.
Pinkishly, what did you think of the movie? And then with Miranda, what did you think?
Well, I don't like saying I hate people, but I hate Ben Affleck. I just hate his stupid face. I was really knowing how to like sit through a whole movie and seeing him. And okay, hot take. I think that if I could recast it, I would recast John Hamm as Nick. Just because.
That's good.
Miranda, obviously you've got a history with John Hamm here. You were in a picture with him.
But I think that if you saw John Hamm as the role of Nick Dunn, you would end up hating John Hamm after this. I think that your loathing for Ben Affleck is kind of perfect for him to be Nick Dunn.
I agree. Whatever your feelings are, I think it's perfect casting for Nick Dunn.
Yeah, because he is, it's the punchable face.
I mean, we talked about it last week or the week before, but like, I also rewatched the movie this past week.
I did too.
Yeah, same, today.
Watched it and saw the scene where Nick Dunn is wearing a New York Mets hat.
Yeah.
And remembered, this was the moment where actor Ben Affleck refused to wear a Yankees hat, apparently.
And it was all of 4 or 5 seconds the entire time. That's it.
And shut
he gets
down,
up and walks away.
Shut down productions. Ben refused to wear a Yankees cap. It didn't come to blows, but we had to shut down production. And I was like, if that's not Nick Dunn.
Those are people's jobs.
I'm like, if that's not Nick Dunn, I don't know who is Nick Dunn.
It's just
Do you know what I mean?
a sport game.
Yeah. Did you say Sprott game? It's just Sprats. But it's more than Sprats if you're from Boston and you're talking about the Yankees. It's in their marrow. It's a different thing. It's a different thing. But still, I'm not saying like, but I just feel like, look, Cesar Irwin, I mean, Ben is the perfect Nick.
Yeah.
He's the perfect Nick because in the beginning of the story you are supposed to hate him.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys and how you feel about Ben Affleck, but I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm like, I think he's a great actor. He's a great director.
He is a great
director. I think he's a fantastic Batman. I didn't like the movie that he was in. I think that in real life he's made a bunch of bonehead mistakes. I think that he can come across as a jerk. I think he can be a jerk. I think he can also be really likable and funny and charming. I think he is he's a human.
He's a human.
And I go back and forth between him. He's in movies like Reindeer Games, which is obnoxious, but then he's in movies like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where he gets made fun of for being in movies like Reindeer Games. So he doesn't take himself too seriously. And yet he apparently won't wear a Yankees hat. So it's just, I don't know. I think that he was really well cast, but I also think John Hamm would have been great. Miranda, you're not wrong, Miranda. John Hamm's a really good actor, but I think
sort of charming, but
you have to dislike him in the beginning.
I don't know. I think you can. On Matt, have you watched Mad Men? You haven't, right?
I've seen the whole first season and was like,
okay,
it's so great. Pass. Thank you. No thanks. No, not for me.
It's so
pass.
great. I'll not watch it again.
Well, let's just say he makes some choices that that make him not necessarily likable, but because he's so handsome and charming, it's hard to
fully hate him.
To fully hate him. But what did you think about the changes and sort of the adaptation? Did it feel like a good adaptation of the book to film?
I think it was really good, and I think that somebody mentioned in the chat a few weeks ago that like you read the book and you feel it's kind of like the director's cut. It's just a little bit more extended, and I think that the book was really, really good, just movie material. So I thought that it was really well made. I thought it was brilliantly cast. I thought Rosamund Pike was fantastic.
Yeah,
she's
so
just
good.
frightening,
amazing.
Isn't she?
Yeah, she's perfect in it.
Oh.
And Carrie Coon, who plays Go as well, she was great.
Really good.
And it's so heartbreaking the way she's just crying at the end.
I
and it's
know.
like, you just want to go back. And it's like, I know.
So I did a little bit of digging around with all of this. Carrie Coon is born in 1981, which I did not pick. And Ben Affleck is born in 1972, and they're playing twins.
Yeah.
I also didn't watch the movie before I started reading it. I, for the life of me, thought that Go was the girl from The Town, another Ben Affleck movie.
Which is Rebecca Hall?
Yes. That's who my Go was the whole book.
Oh, interesting. I can see that for sure. She can be really kind of dry.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's so good,
direct.
man.
But Carrie was so good in the role as Go that like I felt bad that I don't know her from more things. I'm like, I want to
Fargo
see
season 2.
Yes,
Leftovers.
I'm like, I need to see Fargo and I need to see Leftovers, and she's apparently been killing the game, and people love those shows.
Fargo
and that's
season
more of
2.
a
She's got
more
a
of a
really
reason
deep
for,
voice.
for me
You
to
know
go
what's
get
sad
it.
about her? She's
Can
got
I-
a real deep voice.
I like that.
Yeah.
Can I do a real quick tangent PSA?
Yes.
Really quick. So, and we'll talk. I want to talk about Mindhunter later because it's a
Okay.
Fincher if we have time.
Oh.
Fincher adaptation,
Yes.
murder mysteries. I don't know if you're watching it.
DeMarco
But
Draws,
PSA,
I did like NPH's
so
Desi
good.
DeMarco, yeah.
Everyone who's watching Mindhunter and is like, is that Carrie Coon who plays the woman with Wendy? No, it's
No.
not.
It's
Anna Torv.
Anna Torv from Fringe, and if you haven't watched Fringe, you should watch it.
I should
okay,
because I
that's
love
it.
Lost.
I know.
Oh man, you would love Fringe.
I
Fringe
would.
is so good.
I need to watch Fringe as well.
It's so good. Anyway,
We're going through the casting as well. What did you think of Neil Patrick Harris as Desi?
I thought it was really funny. Like there were some things that just echoed with Barney Stinson in How I Met Your Mother. Like it's
hard to shake.
And like having cameras everywhere. It's like, yeah, you're kind of like
Welcome like Pat.
doing the same thing. But I thought it was good. I mean, I didn't think he had a lot of time, like screen time, to do much. So
Yeah.
he was okay. I mean, I love him and I think he's great. But I don't know, like because the movie didn't have as much of the Desi scenes in as the book has, so
True.
he didn't have a lot of time to shine, I guess. He seems creepy. He's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Actually,
but
DeMarco-
I don't think that the movie did a lot of justice to the character. Because, well, I mean, it's a movie. You can't do a lot of it, but...
Well, I kind of disagree a little bit, only in that Gillian Flynn's Desi in the book almost seemed unrealistic to me with the way he was with the way he used swine and the way that he spoke and the way that he was so, above it all.
Pompous.
And so pompous that it's like, in a way, NPH's version of the character, like, and the writing and his performance kind of made him more believable to me. Maybe because there was less screen time. So I'm kind of like, I feel like maybe with the edits that they did were real smart, that I didn't have too much time to think about the logistics of Desi and go, well, does this really kind of make sense to me? DeMarco Draws had a great comment.
Yeah, he was talking about the character of Desi, and he was saying, but don't girls like the kind of guy that Desi is? And I wanted to go over that a little bit.
Look, I just want to quote, who's the actor who plays a young Howard Stark in Captain America, the First Avenger, and in the Marvel movies?
Dominic Cooper.
Dominic Cooper's Howard Stark, where he tells Steve Rogers, he goes, the moment you think you know what's inside a woman's head is the moment your goose is well and truly cooked, my friend.
Right.
I'm so glad
You could say that about people.
about people. It's true.
So he's kind of the perfect what a white knight is. He comes in to rescue, but instead of making things better, like he's rescuing Amy from being trapped in a really less than ideal situation by taking her and trapping her in a less than ideal situation. So it's like
it's in exchange for something that he wants. It's not to help her, it's to get something for himself. There's an ownership and expectation
100%.
there.
I think it was perfectly defined when she goes, can I please have some money? And he puts two $20 notes in her hand and was like, you're welcome. I'm doing this for you. And she's like,
He gives
I'm
me
trapped.
the fucking
creeps. Yeah. So, but in his head, he's doing everything right. But I've brought her food and I've saved her from an abusive relationship, and I'm the one that's looking after her.
And I just want her to look the way that she used to. Blah.
I loved the scene in the movie where he just takes the creme brulee from her, and you're just like, you're right.
How
okay.
fucking... That's when I would have...
Right. But with a spoon, your creme brulee spoon, you would have just kept packing.
I also think that there's an element of Desi
Thanks.
where Amy is...
Oh, whoops, he was kidding.
I think it's really...
Sorry, DeMarco Draws.
I think it's really
okay.
unfortunate.
I thought he was serious
Wait, I
too.
was
I was
kidding.
like,
It's tough to read tone in a chat sometimes.
He's like, wait, please stop. Oh, God.
I think
Now
that
we
it's
clarify.
also, he's definitely this white
Yes.
knight, and he's messed up, and he wants Amy to look a certain way.
And he thinks that he is the ideal man that a woman wants.
And there's a lot of
He's the
elements
nice
of
guy.
there's a lot of elements of
But
control.
if you have to say you're a nice guy,
You're not.
Yeah.
you're not the nice
You're
guy.
right. But the thing that really made me also uncomfortable on top of all of that was the way that Amy was thinking about the way that she was comparing Desi to Nick, and she would say, well, at least Nick went and stuck his dick in somebody. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me.
I got angry at that note as well.
Because of how
She's making
Desi was
excuses, I
making
know.
excuses. Because of how Desi was, she all of a sudden rationalized that Nick was a better guy.
For
And
cheating. He's man
they're-
enough to cheat on
they're
her,
both-
and that's more
they're-
respectable
They're both terrible for different
than a
reasons.
slow thrust.
But that was really, I was like, you are insane.
That's some
Amy Dunn. You're crazy.
But this is the thing. This is the case of grass is always greener for Amy. She thought that, framing her husband, putting him on death row would be great until she was living out of a really dodgy place, and she looked a bit frumpy, and she wasn't the most attractive woman in the room. And then Desi was absolutely amazing until she realized the grass is always greener in a real sadistic, awful, destructive way.
Yeah. So we debated on which Gillian Flynn book to read this month. Would you read any other of her have you read her other two books?
I did read a short story called The Grown Up. And that was the first thing I read from her. It's like 40 pages. And it was really good. I liked it. It's kind of creepy at the end. It's about this woman who's kind of like a scam artist, and then she meets this family, and then like the teenager starts like telling her like weird stories about his family, and then like I don't know, just a bunch of things happen, and then she ends up having to run away with the kid, but then the kid starts blackmailing her, telling her that he's gonna run to the police, kind of like being Amy, like a small version of Amy in a teenage boy.
Hyper manipulation.
And it was really good. I really liked it. And yes, I think I would read something from her. I mean, I haven't always been a very good mystery reader, but after I read this, I remember like, I really enjoyed this. I should read a lot more mysteries. So maybe I'll pick up another book by her.
Awesome. Well, where can people find you if they don't already follow you on the internet?
Well, I am Monstera everywhere. So just find me on Twitter, Instagram, and that's about it.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming and chatting
with us. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Miranda. Bye. See you later.
See you soon.
Bye.
You're the best.
If you guys want to chat with us, you can. Just let us know. It's easy, and then we'll do that. That wasn't bad.
That was great.
Come do it.
Ask Monstera. She had
Tell
a great time.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah, our goal is to get everyone who's regularly in the chat to come on the show at one stage. And we're ticking
You know what's
guys
great
off.
about
Pinkishly, I'm looking at you.
About Miranda is that like we were all kind of dicking around and doing our normal Alpha Book Club thing, and she just hit us right off the bat with these great discussion topics, and I was like, let's get into it. And
I gotta sit up a little straighter.
That was great. That was great. So thank you.
One of the things that she did say, and if you're still watching Miranda, I kind of want to address this, is she was very frustrated through the whole book, but then thought the end was the best. I was the opposite. I had such a great time reading the entire book, and then at the end, I was just like, I'm gonna crash my car.
Well, here's the thing. So
I also did not like the ending, but I am conflicted. Go on.
Is it because you just don't buy? Because for me, it felt like that was him lying to himself. Because I feel like, and the movie brings this out a lot more clearly, because movies have to show.
You have to look at a human.
You have to see it more. But it showed me that even while he's saying, I'm gonna fucking kill her, I'm gonna fucking kill her, and even while she's saying, fuck him, I destroyed him, they are two peas in a pod, they fit together.
They deserve each other.
What's that, E.E. Cummings? There's some line about fitting together, quotations that fit together like eels or something, where it's like, they fit each other because they're both narcissists, they're both selfish, they both put this fake persona up, and then were disappointed when they found the other person's. And even the comparing Desi and Nick when she does that. Yeah. And again, not to diagnose anyone because I'm not a clinical psychologist, but there are personality disorders that involve putting someone up on a pedestal, and the moment that they do anything to take away from that image, they're the worst person. And I feel like that happens a lot with Amy, where she puts people up and expects them to be what she views herself as, and what her parents made her, or at least influenced her, trying to view herself as perfect, always said to be perfect, always said to be amazing Amy. So I feel like when he does that, that's his excuse. That's what he tells Go. But the real thing is that whatever love is to them, they love each other, and they almost know each other better now, and they're like, oh, you would go on TV and grovel, and you knew exactly how to get me back, and he knows that she would do this crazy thing.
I wish he would be more excited that it worked. The goal was to get her back by doing, by saying that mopey, heartfelt thing.
And get him off the hook for murder.
Yeah, I wish that kind of was a bit more of a game for him, so he was like a contender in it again. Yeah. Because that's what I think is lacking. She's been ruling this roost, and I kind of wish that he also had a bit of more stakes within the game, so that he was getting excited over it, because he's trapped, and I think that it doesn't work because he's so trapped, and no one who's trapped goes, well, I guess I'll just be defeated and oh, wait a second, I think I am in love with them. Like, nah. I think he needs to be able to feed off, and it would have been better if something happened with Andy in their relationship, where he's like, Andy's so great, but something's missing. Like an intellectual power game or something. So that's when he realizes he needs someone like Amy. That would make more sense.
He kind of touched on that a little bit, where he said that he did picture dating a regular person, a regular woman, and describing the story of what happened with him and Andy, and then the woman being like, oh my God, that's terrible. And him thinking, you would never murder for me. You could never be as good as Amy. Like, he touched on that a little bit.
He was with Andy for 15 months. That's too long.
But I think that this is the catalyst for him. I think this is what's waking him up to how, I don't think he realized it until he knew what she was doing, and then saw not even just how she planned that, but that she murdered someone to get back. All of those things, I think, are, and I don't think he's fully aware of it either. I don't think he's a self-aware person, so he's like, well, I had a horrible childhood, I have to be here for this kid, but I think the real reason is that he wants to be with her.
I had a problem with the ending where I think I have been trained by Hollywood films my whole life, American movies, where the hero wins in the end.
Who's the hero?
The hero in this, for lack of a better human being, is Nick, to me.
He's the lesser of two evils.
He's the lesser of two evils, and because he was the one that the twist was, you find out he's being framed. So then he's put into this role of, oh, you're out of your element, you're out of your depth, you're screwed over, you have been outplanned, outgunned, outmanned in every single scenario, and Amy is the villain. She murders somebody. Yeah. She's also framing somebody for murder. She saves vomit. She's the villain.
Yeah.
Nick is a douchebag, but he's not the villain.
Yep.
So for me, and this is what I'm conflicted about, I felt like when I finished the book, I went, I would have liked it if Nick won, quote unquote. If Nick did that thing that heroes in 2-hour movies do, where they're getting out masterminded by some diabolical villain, and in the last 5 minutes they go, I have the upper hand now. I am now going to win. I know this thing, and then now boom, and now you're going to jail, and all is right with the world. And I thought,
so there was a recording. He did record
something
somehow.
In some way, and even the last few chapters is kind of like leaning toward. It's almost like setting up for like, okay, Nick is so screwed now. He's a little dog backed in a corner. Like, what is he going to do until it gets to I have basically given up in a way.
Yeah.
But the book's also saying at the same time, but this is something that Nick wanted. And the thing that I'm conflicted with is, I feel like what Gillian Flynn is attempting to do with this whole book is to shine a light at the concept of marriage and cynically look at it and go, what even is marriage? What even is two people that have committed to one another, if not pretending to be a person that the other person would like? It's a very cynical, funny, dark look at what a relationship is.
Gillian needs a
super
hug.
Exaggerated. Kind of. So with knowing that, I'm like, there's no version of this book where Nick wins and it's not like a cop-out, or it's not like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, compared to what Gillian Flynn, in my opinion, what her goal is with this story. If there is a version where he does end up being like, I recorded it, I sent it to Tanner Bolt, I sent it to the cops, Amy, you're going to jail. And Amy Elliott Dunn gets dragged away to jail, and she's like, oh, I love you even more, Nick. Yeah. You did it. Oh, crazy. I would still be like, this isn't what the book started out being. Yeah. Because the book set them both up to be pieces of shit human beings. So it would be, and again, I don't want to set the genders against one another, but there is a lot of comparison between male and female perspectives, male and female priorities and cliches and stereotypes, expectations. There's a lot of man versus woman, husband versus wife in this. That if the husband ended up winning, it would seem as if wives have lost.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's also, please, but it's also but Amy fucking murdered somebody, so that can't be what it is, right?
Yeah.
But it kind of is, but please.
Okay, so couple of things. One, I love that it kind of flips that on its head, and that it doesn't, because there isn't a hero here, and I think that yes, it is a very cynical take on marriage, but I also think it's a darkly positive one, that these two horrible people found each other. No, stay with me, because I feel like it can be that, and like we've said, people can just lie to each other for years, and on a lesser intense degree where there isn't like a murder and all of this stuff. It does happen all the time. But I also think when this film came out, and we talked about this a little bit last time, but when this movie came out and everyone was like, she's such a villain, it's anti-feminist for her to be such a villain. And
no, it's not. It's very pro-feminist.
No, and so I think it is about men and women so far as what is taught to us and what people learn from it. But that doesn't mean that any of those things are true, you know, those generalizations. But I like that that it doesn't have this happy ending, and that they do. It's frustrating. It reminds me, this is a weird comparison, but did you guys see This Is 40?
Yeah.
No, but keep going.
So This Is 40, it made me so miserable to watch because they were so unhappy.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, at the end they're like, let's keep going. And I was like, no, the happy ending is that you divorce for the good of everyone in this family.
Yeah.
And so I like the kind of realism that people this fucked up, I don't think they can function without each other. I get that.
I mean, I haven't seen This Is 40 yet, but I did see Knocked Up, and the same characters are in it. And at one point, Paul Rudd, who she thinks he's cheating, is just going to see movies by himself. And she's like, where were you? And he's like, I went to go see Spider-Man 3. And she's like, I like Spider-Man. And it's like they're still together at the end of that movie and into This Is 40.
Yeah, and it plays
thing.
into that.
So
but
sad.
it's like, it's this thing of where I was like, I feel like you guys hate each other.
They do deserve each other. They do. It's good that they have taken themselves off the board, the playing field, if you will.
I feel deeply sorry for their child.
So we win. But then their child, their kid. So.
But sadly,
I
horrible people stay together and have kids for the wrong reasons.
What I'm hearing from this, and I would like to find a silver lining, is that no matter how awful and shitty you are as a person, you will meet
someone for you.
There's someone for you.
No matter how blank you are as a person, there's somebody for you. No matter how awesome you are, no matter how funny, great, complicated, complex, dumb, intelligent, it doesn't matter. There's somebody for you. Everybody deserves love, and everybody deserves being with somebody who is, for lack of a better term, at their level. Whether that's
whatever their
level is. Yeah. Everybody has a level, and I have a level, and right now I'm dating up, dude. My girlfriend is way better than me, and that's how it should be. You need to go for somebody who you think is better than you, and then if you ask her, hopefully she'll be like, no, they're better than me, but really she knows where she's at. So that's what you need to. That's what I think love is when you're like, I'm out of my bracket. I'm dating somebody who's better than me and they don't know it. I'm tricking them. Ooh, that's love, man. Yep. That's what love is. But yeah, you're right. That's no matter how effed up you are, there's somebody at your level.
Silver lining for Gone Girl.
That's an SNL sketch. What was it, Seth Meyers and Amy Poehler with a couple that were yelling at each other? And then like they would be in a back room making out and then come back out. So that's why that's why they were together. Yeah. Sort of a thing. They were the couple that should be divorced, I think was the SNL sketch for like a few years. Yeah.
But they love each other. Yeah. So we all watched the movie again.
Yes.
I want to talk about the movie because I think the movie is a really great adaptation.
Really well done. You know what my favorite thing about the movie is? Favorite thing. Gillian Flynn wrote the script.
Yes, me too.
Oh, I think that makes sense because there's direct
yes.
pullings from
That's
it.
why people are saying it feels like the book is the extended edition, the director's cut.
Yes.
I feel like there is no better option in Hollywood for an adaptation from a novel, at least for the first pass, than to get the author to attempt a screenplay. Princess Bride, same thing. Because it's
much better than the book.
I don't
know if I mentioned that.
Yeah, but
Princess Bride the movie? Oh, way better.
Did you throw anything? Little light toss?
Do you want to throw Gone Girl? You want to throw Gone Girl?
We all kind of do, don't we?
Book? You gone, book.
Hold on. Who else wants to throw the book, though?
I'll throw the book.
You want to throw the book?
Fine, sure.
I'll throw this book.
There's another book here if you want in on this.
Girl?
I appreciate it.
She go!
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. It's a book. It's a book. It's a book.
I just tossed my.
Yours flew.
Yeah, movie versus book. I mean, it's such a well-written book. It's such a well-done movie. I never want to read or see this film ever again. I'm done. I'm out. But it's very well done.
You're Nick Dunn.
I'm Nick Dunn.
I love. This is true. I do love dark movies and books, as we know. So I really do love this one. But I watched it again.
Yeah.
And I've seen it several times, and it's not just, it's similar to The Princess Bride in that it's different from The Princess Bride in that I feel like it takes a lot more from the book. Like it doesn't, there's not a lot removed. But the things that it does take out still come across exactly the same way. The tone is the same.
Agreed.
The dark humor that is in there, that's sort of this like laughing at yourself.
The mystery
and
the actual like clinical sort of surgical murder mystery of it in the cop's investigation. It's so enthralling. I started watching this film with my girlfriend. She hadn't seen it. And I was like, we'll watch the movie before you read the book. I'm going to let her borrow it, and I want her to read it. But we started at like 11 p.m. It's a 2.5-hour movie.
It's a long
David
movie.
Fincher
It's a David Fincher movie. And, oh my God, I love Zodiac so much. And that's also a tough movie to watch.
Have you watched Mindhunter?
I haven't seen Mindhunter yet.
It's like a 10-episode series of Zodiac.
I cannot
it's so
wait.
Good.
So like,
it's on my list.
But I started this movie at 11 p.m.
It's scary.
knowing the attention span that Abby has, and I was like, we can call it at any. We'll go to sleep at any point, and we were up till 12:30, 1 a.m. We took a bathroom break. She was like into it, and I'm like, this is a good film.
Was she mentally taking notes?
Because yes, she was, and now no joke. She'll threaten me. She'll be like, I'm gonna Gone Girl you. I'm like, please don't. Please don't say that. If it's a thing, I'm like, hey, can you do this or do that or whatever?
I want to tell you something. Let's go in the shower. You'd be like, you know what?
I want to make sure you're not wearing a wire. I'm gonna Gone Girl you. Oh no, I should not have done this. No, yeah, but it's enthralling.
It is.
The mystery portion of it. It's great.
The music, the
Trent
Fincher
Reznor.
color tone is great. Can we? This was one that I really liked. So the first and last shots of the movie
Same but different.
are the same but different. Can we show that of? Thank you. It's
First
coming.
shot.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Perfect shot.
Look at her
Ooh.
face. Oh, it's so good.
Innocent, conniving.
Innocent, and you're worried for her, and all you know is that she's missing in the last one. I won, bitch.
Yeah.
That is the cat who got the canary, man.
Yeah,
That
man.
is so
Damn.
good. I love that.
Rosamund.
I started, I don't know if anyone else did when you watched the movie, but it was quite apparent a couple of times that she was wearing a wig when her blonde hair was heavily over in a low bun like that. It was too thick. It was definitely a wig. So I'm now going back going, what did they have to reshoot?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Was it the... Oh, hi.
Was there weight gain when she had her mousy brown hair?
Hi, we're getting some wine. Oh, hi.
Sorry.
Oh, minor shot. Oh, we got minor shot. Sorry, I'm trying to get some wine. Sorry. Whoops. Where's the wine at?
I'm sorry.
No, I was also, you know, how she had to gain weight. And I think the book did a lot better job of really explaining Amy's time by herself. I thought that was a lot better.
Yeah.
You know,
Really?
In the Ozarks.
Yeah. I mean, the movie did a very, very good job. I actually really did enjoy this movie. I still preferred the book just because there is more to it.
I didn't realize that guy who played the Ozark guy was the bad guy in Logan, which is cool. Yeah.
That's where it was. Because it's not Charlie Hunnam,
yeah,
but it's nearly Charlie Hunnam.
Who's that not Charlie Hunnam looking motherfucker?
Yeah.
Oh, he's the guy, it's Boyd Holbrook from Logan.
Oh, he's a bad arm.
I know. And always kind of had that little bit of a drawl.
It does, doesn't it?
That's so
And
great.
The teeth.
Yeah.
The Lola Kirk. Have you guys seen Mozart in the Jungle with Gael Garcia Bernal?
Only because it was
Yeah.
recommended to me by a friend who she
It's-
also recommended *Halt and Catch Fire*, and I didn't like that show. And I was
Oh,
like, "What's
Mozart
up?
in the
What's up,
Jungle is
Lauren?" And
pure
she's like,
joy.
"Oh, I stopped watching after an episode." Lauren,
You'd like
you're
it.
the worst.
It's
*Mozart in the
pure-
Jungle*. I should
it's-
because I love Gael
really-
Garcia.
It's really
Gael
joyful.
Gael Garcia. He's going to be in Coco. I can't wait to see it.
Oh, what is Coco?
Pixar's Coco.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to
About
see
Dia
that
de
too.
los Muertos.
What is that? What is
Dia
that?
de los Muertos? Am I just speaking gibberish right now to you? Day of the Dead.
What's it called?
Coco. It's the name of the young boy who plays the guitar.
Where's my Torres?
Yes. But he should not be playing the guitar because his family forbids music in the family. But then he ends up playing the guitar, and then there's a magical curse, and then he ends up in the Dia de los Muertos in the land of the dead.
Okay, this is Dia de los Muertos. What is that?
Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos.
Day
Nah, mate. If I
Dia.
attempt
You
Day.
should go to
Dia.
Alvera
Day.
Street. Alvera
Day.
Street during Day of the Dead
Yeah, it's
downtown.
awesome.
It is
November
the
1st.
greatest. Yeah,
Dia
so
de
good.
Los Muertos.
los Muertos.
More tongue. More tongue.
Muertos.
Good. Pretty close.
Because the day I do that, you all die.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
The change from Desi's death, which is already bad in the book,
Oh, I had to
to
leave
the
the room.
movie.
Dude, it was awesome.
Fincher.
It was
Classic
awesome.
Fincher. It's like, here,
Blood.
this is already horrible. How can I make it worse? Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'll slit your throat while we're having sex.
That was a very graphic sex scene as well.
But
it was very gratuitous.
Slit your throat while having sex almost to me fits the character of Amy more than the way Desi went in the book, where it was all off screen, where she put sleeping pills in him and then tied him up and killed him or whatever, slit his throat. I was like, no, Amy Dunn is so fucked up that she would have done that mid-coitus, coital murder right there.
I believe it was as he was exploding.
Yes, it was.
I didn't know how did not know how to say that delicately.
That was,
As he was.
You got it.
as he was reaching climax.
That's it.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
but
how
as he
you
was
say it.
exploding, it's pretty good.
I don't know if it's
Blood exploding.
if it's because she's fucked up or that because in the movie the other thing that they add is the cameras. So there's this proof there. So she has to make it this big outlandish thing. But to me, it's not that she's
miscarriage. Yeah.
fucked up. It's that it's surgical. Everything that she does is very precise, and she has this list, and you see, she does roll around. Yeah, she like slits his throat, and it's like, I just almost threw my mic all over, and then she's like, whoop, and hops on top of him and like rolls around in the blood, but that's to make it look like a struggle. It's not because she's like delighting in it. It's because she wants everything to look perfect, and so she avoids certain areas where the cameras aren't. And everything she does is very specific, and it's
Guys,
fucked up, man.
do yourself a favor though. Jump on IMDb for Gone Girl and go through all of the
comments.
No, it's
quotes.
not trivia, but it's
The goofs, fun facts.
goofs and fun facts, and
Okay.
it's picking the movie apart.
Sure.
Some of the amazing things was the blood that was coming out of Desi's throat was actually clinically too dark. It should have been a bright red. The blood that they used looked more like it was a liver wound, blood from a liver. And then there was the surveillance cameras, and that struck a chord for me, obviously. Every time she was on the TV, I thought she was deleting video footage. And she was just leaving the things that she wanted to be seen. But that wasn't clear. And why add security cameras in there if it's only going to not make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it's the one thing that's going to catch her out. So why would you add the thing that would, make it not work?
Yeah.
There's also when she did the rape kit, there would have been evidence that she was actually pregnant at one stage.
Yes.
And so they would have been able to debunk that when she had the hospital visit.
Or that if they had someone in the chat said this way earlier,
Yeah,
that
the
if they had
blood.
tested her blood in the kitchen, it would have shown that she wasn't pregnant.
Can you tell if a woman's pregnant through her blood when she's pregnant? I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's how you double check. The
Really?
Yes, it's
pee.
more accurate than
Really?
the P test. Yeah,
But I think
You
the
get
other
a lot
thing,
of false positives and negatives on the P test.
there is another goof where it's like with the book, like a lot of them were
Health
plot.
ed with Alpha Book Club. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of plot debunking as well, where the urine sample would have been from Noella, who was like 6 months pregnant,
Yes, and
instead
they
of being
would've-
6 weeks.
They
would have been
they
able to-
would have been able to tell. Interesting.
The film must have relied on the fact that we don't have a great sex education system in America. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
No, real
Did
facts.
you see one
I
condom once?
feel like an idiot.
Did you see one condom once? No.
No.
That's why this is all going down.
That's true.
Yeah. Or birth control. Nobody popping a birth
Practice
control.
safe sex, y'all. Otherwise, you're gonna get gone girled. So watch out. I've said
Gonorrhea.
it before, and I'll say it again. My mom gave me the best advice ever in high school. She said, "Keep track of your sperms." And I'm like, "All right, mom." It's good
That was what
advice.
she actually said.
That is great advice.
I swear to God,
Keep track.
Yeah, she did. She for real said that, and it seems weird, but looking back, I'm like, that's so dope that my mom said that to me. And I was like, I always do, Mom. I'm not awful. Like, I know what I like. I'm in high school.
My mum was a, if it's not on kind of woman, but she was also, and this doesn't make sense in this country, but her favourite little joke is you can beat an egg, but you can't beat a root.
But you can't. Sorry, what? You can't.
You can't beat a root. So a beetroot is what you call beets.
Yes.
But we call it a beetroot because it's a root beet.
Yes.
Yeah. And a root is also a term for sex. So you can beat an egg, but you can't beat a root.
Oh, because
Is
roots are
mum
good.
saying she loves sex?
Yeah.
Damn it! I didn't want to spell it out for you.
You know what's
Now
crazy is that all of our parents
Had
definitely
sex.
had sex.
At least once.
At least once.
At least once.
And it was effective. At least one time. Okay. Yeah, man. Think about that for a second.
Don't think about
about
it.
it.
Don't think about it.
Your dad totally affected your mom. It happened. My parents boned. They're not together
Java
anymore.
Book Geek Girl says, today's Alpha Book Club lesson, practice safe sex, y'all.
Yeah.
I would also wager,
Don't go with it crazy.
Communicate.
Communicate. Don't have kids to fix your
Yeah.
murderous
Thank you.
homicidal relationship.
Don't think that your identity is lost if you lose your job. My God.
Yeah.
And don't think that the audience won't go back through this show and figured out when I had snot on my hand and wiped it on the chair.
Well, that's great advice right there.
Oh, it sure is. It sure is. Would you guys read her other books? Because I would really like to talk about them with you.
Sure.
Did she do Girl on the Train?
No, that's Paula Hawkins.
Oh.
Not a great movie.
Any of her other books, were they made into
terrible
movies?
movie.
Were they made into movies? Any
Not
of her
yet,
other books?
however.
Ooh.
Sure. Oh, yes.
Which
a bad
one?
one. Dark
one?
Places
Oh,
was made
yeah.
into a movie that was, I think the director was French. It was released on VOD. I thought it was honestly terribly cast. It came and went. It was Charlize Theron, Corey Stoll, all of whom, and it's called Dark Places. The movie I couldn't even get through, which is a sad thing for me to say, but I was
Yeah.
just so mad. But
Bummer.
that one is really good. But Sharp Objects, which is actually my favorite of the 3 books, including Gone Girl, that she's
Really?
written, is going to be a miniseries with Amy Adams.
Good. That
And
sounds
I highly
great.
recommend that one. Sharp Objects.
Amy Adams is not a good Lois Lane. Lois.
I don't disagree with you, Maude, and I love my Lois. I love Lois and I love Amy Adams.
Same.
But I don't disagree with you.
Same.
Not.
You know,
They also
you're not,
don't have a lot of chemistry.
you're not- yeah, I don't disagree with that either.
Yeah.
Guys,
Just because there's a bathtub doesn't mean it's sexy.
that's true.
Most
true.
bathtubs
Do you know what's a sexy bathtub
people
scene?
can't even fit into
Out of
2
sight.
of them.
George Clooney,
Yes.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yes.
That is a sexy bath scene.
Any movie that Jennifer Lopez is in that's not a thriller
or Anaconda.
is sexy. Because Jennifer Lopez is great.
Yeah.
But I would love if you guys
Ants
have.
isn't sexy. She's in there.
Oh my gosh, you're so
right.
right.
Actually, it is kind of sexy.
You're right.
It is kinda
Sarah,
sexy.
the kid from Almost Famous, was Gilpin.
Yes.
I did not. That took me way too long. I
Patrick
didn't like.
Fugit.
Did not
Patrick
like that
Fugit.
casting because he too had a bum chin,
Cleft chin.
and I didn't like that association. And Gilpin in my head was a gruff 50-something-year-old dude.
Sure.
Man.
Yeah,
Man.
I agree with that too.
yeah.
I'd read something else. Thrashon says, I saw Dark Places. Huge fart
Yeah,
noise.
dude. It's so. But read the.
Okay.
Like
Really
I said,
like
sometimes
Boney.
the movie
I also like
adaptation
Boney. She was
She was
great.
fantastic.
of books that we all love, such as The Golden Compass from
Yes.
His Dark Materials. Sometimes the movie is not as good as the book, so you should read the book.
Or
Usually
yeah.
I
usually
did,
the
I
book
brought
is
it
better.
up. Yeah, usually.
More often than not. Like I said, I've read a lot of books and seen a lot
Princess
of movies.
Bride. What was the other
Notebook.
one?
The Notebook.
The Notebook.
The Notebook.
The only
There's gotta be
two.
more, guys.
Oh,
I'll say John Carter. Disney's John Carter. Better than A Princess of Mars.
what's it called? I forgot the name.
But those
I'll
are silly
tweet it
ones.
later.
Okay.
All right. So if you guys haven't put your email in the chat, you get a free ebook, and we're going to be doing more of these. So make sure that you tell your friends to come hang out with us in the chat. We'd love for them to watch the VOD as well and catch up. I saw someone on Twitter. Did you see that they were like, I finally caught up on all the Alpha Book Clubs. Are you here?
Wow.
Are you in the chat?
Are you here, whoever
Hello?
you were on Twitter?
Hello? Is it
Me you're looking for. I can see it in your eyes.
That's really nice. Yeah, keep saying
I
it.
can hear it.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So tell your friends. Your homework this week is to read to the beginning of chapter 6, stop at chapter 5, in part 1 of Murder on the Orient Express, titled "The Woman."
Oh, that's to page 57, end of 57.
Ooh, thanks.
if you've got this
copy.
one.
Don't forget, we're
Which
also
you don't,
on
because you've all got
Goodreads.
ebooks.
Oh yeah. They might be the same. We don't know.
Stop at 6.
Stop at chapter 6. We are on Goodreads. Search Alpha Book Club and come discuss with us. And if you like thrillers, I have 2 years of books that I've been reading that you might like. If you're
Whoa.
interested in joining us on the show, just let us know on Twitter at Join Team Alpha. We swear we don't bite, with the hashtag Alpha Book Club.
And we swear.
And we swear.
I gotta read this. DeMarco Draw's comment.
Oh no.
Sex in the bathtub is not fun at
Oh.
the end because you end up soaking in a broth
Why-
of your own juices.
I wouldn't even say that, okay? And that says a lot.
DeMarco
If you
Draws,
want to
that's
Skype
impressive.
with us, because
Broth.
we're so much fun, just
Sex
tweet
broth.
hashtag Alpha Book Club.
Sex broth juice.
And we'll get you all set up with that. Make sure you send in your book recommendations to @Nerdist, @Geek and Sundry, and @Join Team Alpha with the hashtag Alpha Book Club, because we're going to keep reading books every month.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for Gone Girl.
Enjoy your free copy for next month.
Bye.
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 Gross.